For
This
some
is
time.
affiliated to, this program is affiliated to Bangalore University, sir.
Okay, got it.
So another right now around 28 students are there. Maybe up to 610. Can we wait, sir?
Sure, no worries. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir. We'll just stand by till then. If until then, if you want to interact with any students, you can please do that.
No, that's fine. Let's wait for some time.
Okay, done, sir. We'll stand by till 610 then.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Sir, there are around 50, more than 50 are there. I think if you are ready, you can go ahead and start, sir. Now.
Do you think we should wait for some more, like for another 5 minutes or so? Because you said about 170, right?
Yeah, 170. Yeah,
So
I
let's,
think up to 6:15 we'll wait for another 5 minutes, sir. No problem.
yeah, another, yeah, few minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Should we get started?
Yeah, it's 6:15, sir. I think you can go ahead and start, sir.
Okay,
I think the
good, cool.
students might join. Some more students will join slowly. You can go ahead and start.
All right, cool. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Just, Dharmendra, before we start, is camera on policy, how does it work? Is it not mandatory for people to be switching on the cameras?
Sir, it's depending on the faculty's preference. If you are okay presenting with students switched off their cameras, then it's fine. Otherwise, it's your preference, sir.
No, no. I was hoping the students' preferences, are they comfortable with the camera on?
We can request students, if you are comfortable, you can go ahead and switch on the cameras so that the faculty will get that classroom feeling that faculty can watch you and then deliver the presentation. So if you are
Yeah.
comfortable, you can switch on your cameras.
Yeah, I would like to see some brave ones out there. Okay, so we can get started, right?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
All right. Okay. Let me go into the presentation mode. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, it's loading, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Before we start, I thought I'll just start. Are you able to hear the video?
Yes, sir. No, no, no.
Are you able to hear the music?
No, sir.
Okay. Is anybody familiar? How do I have the music on when I'm presenting? I know how it works in WebEx and Zoom, not familiar on the Google Meets.
Sir, what you can do is you can increase the speaker volume, computer volume, and that's how it works. Otherwise, there is no other feature available on this. Or you'll have to present your entire screen, sir. When presenting,
I'm
instead of
presenting my
selecting
entire screen.
okay, then increase the volume, sir. Make it full volume, so that a little bit of volume will audio will come out. Yeah. Now I can just try play, sir.
Are you able to hear it? Volume?
No, sir. We can't hear.
No?
No.
Okay. Because there is an option in Zoom that use my volume, but I don't know how does it work here.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, you can turn off your presenting, then start presenting again. There will be third option to play a video like Chrome window something. So you can press that option.
So what you suggest, I stop presenting.
Yeah. Now again, present now.
Mm-hmm.
In that there will be one option, third option. I guess it is third option.
Actually, I'm not getting the third option. It says present your entire screen or window.
Sir, are you using Chrome?
Yes.
No, Mozilla.
Yeah, if you use Chrome,
Firefox.
then you'll get this option. A tab best for video and animation. You'll get a third option.
Okay. All right, let's give me a shot.
The thing is,
I don't know if you.
you should not minimize the Chrome website. You should open as it is. If you minimize, you won't get
No, no.
option in Google Meet.
Sorry, come again. What are you saying?
That YouTube Chrome web, sir, you should keep on. Like you should not minimize and then go back to Google Meet.
I'm not on Chrome. I'm not on Google Meet app. I'm on the. I'm
Yeah,
logging in through the browser.
Yes, sir. If you use Chrome, I think this option
Okay,
you will get
so
it.
let's go with the video.
Yeah.
Let's see if still gives the message. Let's otherwise we'll figure out for the next session. Okay. Okay, it says I can't share the screen. You must grant in order to create the screen.
You have the permission, sir, to present.
Okay, it seems I can't. I can't.
You have the host control.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to present it. I'm getting this message in error saying that you must grant permissions in order to screen share. Can't share your screen.
1 second, sir. Let me see.
So where I am based, this is the very first time we are getting to use the Google Meet. Otherwise, Google we don't have the we don't use Google here. It doesn't work rather. Okay, settings.
Sir, you have the permission.
Okay, let me start again. Present now. Okay, let me log off and log in. Huh? Let me log off.
Yeah, that will be better.
Okay. You guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Do you have the permission? I mean, are you able to?
I'm just trying to see.
Yeah.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, it's loading, coming up.
Okay. Are you able to?
Yeah, video is on, but audio is not audible, sir.
Okay, just see if you guys can get an understanding of what I'm trying to share here. Let me start from the beginning. So, any thoughts? Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get started. So, what are your initial thoughts or any comments, anything, anybody, feel free to share your understanding or perspective here.
So most of them are traveling in the escalators since they found climbing up on the stairs and going would be like they would have felt lazy or something. So they didn't use the stairs. But once they changed it, like something related to a music or something, so which attracted them, which made them feel that is different, and they found a change there. So
Right.
everyone started using it.
Absolutely. Sorry, could you, because I can't see the name of the person who's speaking, so if you can just announce your name so I know that who's speaking. So who just
So
spoke?
my name is Gunashila.
Gunashila. Right, thanks, Gunashila. Any other thoughts, guys?
Yes, sir. My name is Pratima P.
Go ahead, Pratima.
It simply means like, people wants a change. Instead of being a normal thing, people wants a change. When there is something change, everyone will attract that one, and they
Right.
start enjoying the scene.
Right, absolutely. So since you guys were not able to hear it, so what they did was that whole staircase was like a piano. So if you step on it, it generates music. So every step is a music. So there are different notes on it. So people were just jumping up and down using it, and that generated music. So that was the thing. Since you guys were not able to hear it, so just to give you perspective, because the agenda of Stockholm, that particular metro station, they wanted to make sure people use more stairs instead of the escalators. So to get your perspective. Now, some more thoughts on that? Anybody else? How many students do we have? I don't see the numbers.
So there are almost 60
60.
students
Yeah, we
here.
have 64 students and we just have 2 people who have spoken so far. Any guys' thoughts? What's your quick understanding or your perspective on it? What we just saw. You're all MBA students, finance, marketing, HR. So one of the key things I think I would love to touch upon today is communication. Unless you don't have a perspective, I'm not sure how would I know you guys, right? So please feel free to share your thoughts. Don't be shy.
So they are trying to communicate their brand to the customers, which in fact, touching on human emotions.
So who's speaking here?
This is Sunil, sir.
Sunil. Okay. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. So which brand was that actually? Did you guys anybody
Volkswagen.
notice that? Yeah.
Volkswagen.
Okay. Yeah. So what was the essential messaging that the brand wanted to tell?
Have fun.
Exactly. So yeah, I actually wanted to hear that phrase before we wanted to start today's presentation. Is that, guys? See, I'm not here to tell you something which you probably have not known here. It's all probably you would know more or less everything that I'm going to talk about. So my only agenda today, as we move into the discussion for the next hour and a half or so, is let's have fun. Right? Okay. Okay. I see Asvia. Right. Where is the chat? Okay, Asvia, why don't you just say what you were trying to say instead of putting on the chat, because I don't want you to chat, or unless somebody wants to read the chat. So the idea from my side is the reason I wanted to share that video is let's have fun, guys. Okay, feel free to stop, interrupt, debate. Sorry, sir, I'm traveling. Okay, no worries. So please feel free to read. Unless we make this whole session interactive, I will not. It's not going to be fun. So that's my message. Please feel free to differ with my perspective. That's the whole idea. That if you have a perspective, you have a thought process. If you have a point of view, do feel free to raise your hand or shout it out. I would be happy to have a discussion. So with that, let's start. What's on my agenda today? Are you able to see my screen here now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Okay. One of the things, see, the where I come from, I'm going to give you a quick introduction about myself before we start the actual talk. I also was hoping that if you can share your expectations of this whole session, right? Whatever you come from a bit of diverse backgrounds. We can have a quick introductions. I know we are like 60 of us, so otherwise, I'm not sure we'll be able to cover things, but I'd like to have a flavor of understanding the participant's profile. Now, if you're from a finance, do share. I'm not like if you have I'd like to have some volunteers who can share and quickly introduce themselves. So that gives me a perspective as what is the cohort here or the bunch of 65 odd people we are here. What's the composition of that? Gives me understanding, so I can talk in relevance to what you are looking for. I would love to hear what your expectations of this session would be. That if you are, please feel free to shout out your questions right up front before, not at the end. So let me see if I'll be able to cover it. Then I'll talk a bit of myself. We'll also talk about, see, I come from a technology industry. So the idea of my session today is to share what's happening in my world, because we recruit and we recruit MBAs from various disciplines like yourself from finance, marketing, and HR. So let me touch upon a few aspects of that. What's the current and future trends? I'm trying to see if I can share a bit of soft skill angle, not the hard skills, which you will anyway learn from your core set of professors. But I'm hoping if I can share some of the skills that is expected as we speak today, with the whole world that has changed in front of us in the last 8 or 9 months. And we'll go for it. I believe we will be also meeting in another session in a week or so. I also want you to let me know what is your expectation of the next session, because I haven't prepared for that session. So it's a good time for you to let me know what else is missing in this session that you would like to hear in the next session. So that's the way we will close it out. Works for you guys? Any questions, comments before we start?
No, sir, you can just start.
Okay, so please feel free to be more interactive, because I am not seeing the people, because I'm just seeing my screen. I don't see anybody of you, so I don't know whether what's happening on the other side of the screen. So do feel free to let me your thoughts. Uh, as you guys move into your careers, right? You're not sure how many of you have work experience or the kind of work you have done so far, but over a period of time, this is what I have realized, that if you are able to find something what you are good at, something you really care about, something you're passionate about, if you can bring and blend that with your work, I think you will not be working for anybody. You will be working for what you like to do. Confucius, one of the greatest philosophers of all time from the Eastern philosophy, from China, has spoken about this. So it is not, let's put it, it's not an easy thing. Like choose a job you love. Most of the times you have bills to pay, families to take care of, responsibilities side. So, but if you are able to bring in your passionate angle to this whole work aspect, the creative angle or the fun angle, maybe that will ease up. Or some of you might be having absolute clarity what you would like to do, and some of them are still trying to figure out what works for you, what is that you want to pursue, which direction, which industry, which geography. But as you go into the journey of professional aspect, do feel free to put in a personal angle to that. That's what my thought has been altogether, that if you are assuming, if there are 60 of you, if somebody is a marathon runner, please bring that marathon running discipline into your life. Love the what you do. Because marathon runners do bring in such a discipline into their lives, right? They work out, they spend so much time training. The same thing, if you can bring it to your work, I think you will be able to stand up. The net off is that whatever I've understood in my career is that you'll have to see how you can differentiate. So if you're in marketing and have studied some of the strategies, there is one of the strategies how you differentiate yourself. That's the way your product or your services or whatever you want to market would be selling. What is the differentiation strategy? So as long as you're able to differentiate yourself in your with your fellow person or colleagues, that's where you will stand out as a person. So that's why it's important to bring in the personal angle, the personality aspect that will bring into your day-to-day life. Um, Before I let me quickly talk about things, then I think we can go to the introductions and that we will get the perspective is where I come from and where what is I expect of you to talk about. So guys, my name is Aditya Ganti. I haven't had a chance to introduce myself at all. I work with IBM. I work with IBM in Middle East, Africa, and Turkey. I am based in Dubai, so I'm talking to you from here. My job predominantly is, as we speak today, is working with my partner ecosystem. For recently, IBM acquired a company, one of the largest acquisitions. It's called Red Hat, and I work with that team for our partner ecosystems for Middle East, Africa, and Turkey. That's the region. We report on to Europe, so we're part of what is called EMEA, Europe, Middle East, Africa region. I've been doing this job for the last 6 months. So that's what I do. But let me start where I started off my career with. So I started my career back in Hyderabad. So I don't know if you have somebody from Hyderabad. So I'd love to say hi to you guys. But I believe most of you are from Bangalore. So we will touch upon Bangalore as well. So I started my career in Bangalore, Hyderabad, after having graduated in engineering. I presume a lot of you guys would be engineers. Like they say that in India, we first go for engineering and then figure out what do we want to do. Like I'm one of those guys. Lucas Enterprise is a technology and services provider. They're now moving into cybersecurity as well. That's where I started as a sales guy. My first job was a sales job. And I worked there for a couple of years. From there, I moved to Bangalore. I worked with a company called Ingram Micro. If you're not familiar with Ingram Micro, it is the largest IT distribution company. So in the whole process of IT products and services, if there is a manufacturer, let's say manufacturer of PCs, the PC doesn't come to you directly. It goes to a big distributor in each place, in each geography. It goes to a reseller or a service provider and then comes to you. It also goes to a showroom. Like if you go and buy it you go to a particular showroom, like so many of these, or even in Amazon or any of these e-commerce sites. Right? So before that, it actually stands at distribution angle who take care of the products and then distribute it to the wider regions. So I was one of the youngest product managers out there, handling 2 product lines for India and India subcontinent, included Sri Lanka and Bangladesh as well. After having spent a couple of years in Ingram Micro, I moved to HCL in Delhi. I was in Hyderabad for a while, but then I moved to Delhi with HCL Tech. I worked there for 3 years, part of their security services division. I was leading one of their managed security services for India with an annual revenues of $10 million. That's where I was leading that. Then I also moved to IBM after having spent 3 years in HCL. IBM, I was leading 2 large accounts in terms of the business development and project management for these accounts. After having worked for 6, 7, 8 years at that time, almost, I'm talking about 2007, having worked for 7 years, I thought it's time to upgrade myself and go for an MBA. So if you're a fresher, it's good that you're going for an MBA now. If you're not a fresher, it's also a good time to go for an MBA. So I chose to go for my MBA when I had 7 years of experience. So I went to Madrid, Spain, and I did it from this business school called IE Business School. Ranked at the time when I was doing it was the top 10 business schools in the world, according to Financial Times. It still figures out in the top 20, 25 business schools in the rankings. That was a full-time MBA program I did. It's a 13 months full-time program. I couldn't afford a 2-year program because by the time I already was married and my son was just born in 2007. So with responsibilities, I thought I still wanted to go for my higher education. So I went and did MBA. During my time, I had this opportunity to do a part-time internship in IBM. So I did I used to work go to school till 4 o'clock. And then from 4:30, I used to go to IBM's office to work till 8:30, 4 hours, 4 times a week. So I graduated pretty much the time you guys are graduating from an environment, macroeconomic point of view, when there is the climate seems to be not so in line with the recruitment. So I graduated in 2009, so 2008 December or January 2009. Financial crisis hit. So I don't know if you are familiar with those financial crises which happened in 2008, 2009. I would especially the guys in marketing. I mean, all you guys should read about this financial crisis. What happened in 2008, 2009? It started in the U.S. with something called subprime crisis. There was a large investment banks, like Lehman Brothers. I don't know if you don't know if you know those Lehman Brothers, but it was the largest investment banking corporation at that time, along with Merrill Lynch and Goldman Sachs. Lehman just got busted. It doesn't exist anymore. Merrill Lynch didn't exist in its own form. It's now part of Bank of America. So a lot of consolidation happened, and it was pretty bad time to graduate again. So don't worry, you are also graduating in a pretty much similar circumstances, so things will work out. Don't worry. So I graduated in 2009. I was not getting job. The last few months when the placement seasons were there were offers, but that didn't materialize into offers because of being from India. I didn't have the work permits to qualify for working in Europe. Um, the whole net story is that I couldn't find a job back in Europe. I was also having a possible work permit to work in London, but that was not happening because of this crisis, because London was big time affected as well. So I ended up moving to Malaysia. The only job I got back was back in IBM, and in this time Kuala Lumpur. So I was, and that's the first time I was. All this while I was working in technology companies with sales, and now this is the first time I moved into marketing. So I was responsible for marketing for C-suite, the CFO, CIOs, and chief supply chain officers. So for ASEAN region, ASEAN, if you're familiar in this, it's like 6 countries: Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, and what's the one which I'm missing? One more country. 6 countries that constitute ASEAN. So I was there for a couple of years, did a bit of project management and marketing for IBM for the C-suite. I got promoted, and then I had the opportunity to go and work with IBM in Shanghai. Shanghai is where I learned so much. This was in 2012 to 2015. Shanghai, I was part of the internal consulting team. That's the first time I got an opportunity to work in consulting. I was not consulting with external team. I was working with internal IBM consulting teams, doing research, market research, consulting, and project management for IBM. Did that for 3 years. And since then, 2015, I've been based in Dubai. So that's a quick nutshell. I've done few jobs in IBM in few geographies, so I'm very familiar with the Eastern philosophy of Southeast Asia, China, and now taking care of Middle East, Africa. So I've had opportunity to work in 3 continents so far. So let's see. So that's a quick summary of my professional experiences. On personal side, since I'm a big fan of bringing my personality to the job, I love traveling. In the last, so far, I have had an opportunity to travel to 51 countries. So I love traveling. So I haven't had a chance to travel for the last 10 months. The last I traveled was in Feb. So yeah, I miss traveling now. That's one angle that I really would like to bring, because when you travel, see, there are 2-3 ways to improve your knowledge, right? One is books. The other, I think these days, is Google. From coming from an old school traditional, I love to gain my experiences to travel. One of the other things is travel is that you also bring in a perspective of understanding where the other person is coming from. So if I work with Germans, if I work with person from Singapore, or if I work from somebody from Eastern Europe or Africa, I do understand where the person is coming from, because there is a cultural angle that you always bring in when you do international business. Similarly, in India, so India is so diverse. I have an opportunity to live in so many countries. I've had an opportunity to either live, travel of the 29 states, 22 states. So only 7 states I didn't have opportunity to live or work or travel. So yeah, so when you're either from, say, from your surnames, I should be able to make it out from where you guys are from. So I've had opportunity to work and live. So if you're from north of India, within, say, grew up in Himachal as well, so Himachal, Punjab. I'm from Andhra Pradesh. I'm South Indian, but your perspective will be different when you meet from things. So travel is important. So if you have a chance to travel, do feel free to travel. It just expands your perspective. I'm big time into golfing. I picked up this sport 4 years back, and now I'm a serious golfer. my son has picked it up, so we go golfing every weekend. And these days, it's actually a holiday for us. If you're not familiar, so December 1, 2, 3 is a holiday for us in the Bible. It's a national day and commemoration day. So we've been playing golf for the last 4 days as well. And I love cooking. Since travel, I know I've had a chance to experiment a lot of work and cook for meat films. Something that I also to bring in a creative angle to that. Okay, that's enough of me. Now is the time. Let me actually put the charts back. So I would love to hear some introductions from you guys before we actually moving forward. So share your thoughts. Who's going to introduce yourself? I don't know. Otherwise, I'll have to call in people. So we have 50. It's 57 students. Looks like people are dropping out. So guys, any brave souls out there who would love to introduce yourself? Okay, I'm going to just pick you up. If that's okay with you. Mamit Kumar. Why didn't you start first? You okay to introduce yourself? Am I audible? Can you guys hear
Yeah,
me?
hello, sir.
Hi, Mamit. Go ahead.
Yeah, am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Okay, as you know my name, I'm Amit Kumar. I'm doing my second year MBA with specialization of finance and marketing. And I don't have any previous experience working. I just graduated and then I got into MBA.
Yeah, good. What is your one expectation of this course?
So I need exposure to the market, sir. So what happens exactly in the market so that when I enter in, I can be there in the competition.
What do you mean by exposure in the market? As in market, what is your definition of market?
Like what's happening in the market, sir? Like how's corporates running? When I get into
Okay.
there, how I should be to be in the competition.
Got
That's
it. Got
what I
it. Now I
want
get
to
it.
do. Sir.
Okay. Now, Mamit, pick one of your friends to ask them to introduce me for me.
Yeah, just a second, sir. Where is the participants?
Or pick any random person, even if you don't know that person. This is your class, right? This all 50 odd students?
It's
They're
a whole
one.
batch, sir. It's my batch.
Okay, good. So pick one of your colleagues.
So I'll choose Chetan, sir.
Okay, good. Chetan, go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good evening. This is Chetan, sir.
Go ahead, Chetan.
Yes, so I'm doing my MBA after doing my BCom, and I'm doing with the specialization of core finance, sir. And I'm expecting from this course is to get good analytical skills, sir,
What do you mean by analytical skills?
like data analysis.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and pick your friend or colleague.
Okay, so Sunil.
All right, Sunil, go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, go ahead, Sunil. Yes, I can hear you.
Good evening, sir. I'm Sunil. So currently, I'm pursuing second year MBA, course specialization, and I do have a year of experience in the field of project management, IT. And one thing I would like to uh, get a knowledge about this from this session is a lot of things has been changed. If you can see pre-COVID and after COVID, there are a lot of business trends. It's not the same before COVID, so a lot of things has been changed, as in the trends and technology. So it would be really helpful if you could update at least. As in, what are the changes that have been taking place and what are the changes that would take place in the near future, so that it will help us to prepare ourselves.
Good question. Yeah, we'll touch upon that. Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank you,
right,
sir.
go ahead and pick up. Go ahead and pick up a lady on the call.
I'll pick Kajal, sir.
Okay, Kajal. Go ahead, Kajal. Are you there, Kajal?
Okay, if it is not working, I'll pick Ritu Biryani, sir.
Okay, Ritu. Anybody else who wants to speak? All right. Okay. Do you want me to pick someone? Gunashila, would you like to go ahead? You were the one person who spoke before as well.
Yeah, so my name is Gunashila. I'm pursuing my second year MBA with a dual specialization, that is HR and marketing. So, from this session, I just want to know what are the, like Sunil told about it. So, even I am very much like interested in knowing about uh, like what are the trends that are there right now and what is it gonna happen after, post this pandemic. What are the technologies that and all we're going to be adopting and all that stuff. And also, I need to know how these are going to be helpful. And I just want a bit of knowledge about what is going to happen in the future uh, regarding all these stuffs that is happening right now in the business.
Got it. Good. You want to pick one person? We have time for one more person.
Okay, so okay, I'll pick up Asvia.
Okay, Asvia, go ahead. Is the person there?
Okay, I think she's not there. I'll choose Megha, sir.
Okay, Mega, go ahead. Okay, Tanuja BT raised hand. Go ahead, Tanuja. She left the meeting as well. Okay. Anybody else would like to introduce? If we haven't called your name, Pratima, would you like to speak and introduce and share your expectations?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My name is
Go ahead.
Pratima, and I'm from commerce background. I have chosen finance as my specialization. I'm expecting what skills we should occupy to sustain in the market, like to sustain in the competition.
Good question. Okay. Got it. So based on the size of faculty who have spoken, I think one of the things you're looking for, how is it working in the corporate world? What are this current, how the whole COVID has impacted? It has impacted all of us in some form or shape. So, what's the pre and post COVID changes that we can expect? Um, the other one
Sir, I
is,
have one more point
yes,
to add, sir.
go ahead, Chetan.
Yes, sir. What are all jobs available, so in IBM for fresh graduates?
That's a very fantastic question. That's what you should be asking. What are the jobs out there? At the end of the day, you would like to have jobs, right? Okay, good. And the knowledge. What are the skills predominantly? And thing. So let's see if we can touch upon this in some form or shape. So if I am not able to answer your question, also I think Chetan asked about the analytic skills. I'm not entirely sure, Chetan, if I'm covering that aspect here, because that's a very hardcore skill you're looking at. So you but need to go to a stream of data science kind of a thing to improve your analytics. But I will touch upon that. I will broadly give you a perspective and my thoughts on that. Um, any other comments, thoughts before we proceed further? Did we miss anything? Does anybody want to share or ask or no, look for a particular, have an expectation?
Sir, so what is, I mean, what is the scenario that is gonna be post the, I mean, post this pandemic about these startup companies and all? I mean, what is it gonna happen? Like, are they gonna survive, or are there any complication based on this?
Good. Startups, huh? Yeah, okay, we'll talk about startups as well. Nice. All right, let's get moving on this. We will, and if somebody wants to share their thoughts, feel free to stop, and we will be happy to go from there. So, after having done a bit of introductions and expectation setting, right, and that's what we just did. What do you expect? See, I am coming from a technology perspective, so I just wanted to give you a view that if you look at this particular chart, what stands out? What is that thing that is there that you feel, oh, I'll not influence your thoughts here, but is there anything that stands out for you, or there is a perspective that you can share? Before I actually go there, the question that the answer to one of the questions is, what is the skills and knowledge to survive or sustain in the corporate world, right? It's communication. Unless you communicate, so there are a bunch of 40-odd students, and I have seen 4 speaking up. Similarly, in this large corporate like IBM, we have like 350,000 people. Not everybody makes it to the top. Not everybody survives. The only people who survive are people who are visible. When I say visible, as in people whom we know. So only of the 45, 50 or 60 students that we have, I only know a bunch of 5 names, right? So if I have to tomorrow promote something, right? If I have like I have 4 positions, I will only take, I don't know the rest of the 45 odd students. Maybe they are good. They are even, I mean, the best in those, whatever they do, but I don't know. So if I don't know, I'm not going to even talk to them. So if I'm not talking them, I'm not able to promote them. So one of the key elements, guys, as we do, don't be shy. Don't be ever shy, because if you're shy, if you're not able to share your thoughts, if you're not asking questions, if you're not sharing what you think, agreeing or disagreeing, then I don't know who you are. So if I don't know who you are, that is the single most thing that you will not even get into the competition. You're not even part of the competition, right? So competition is something when you people compete. So you're outside that competitive circle. You're outside there in the Venn diagram. So people who are competing are the people who are there in the race. At this stage, you're not even in the race. So people who are not speaking up, for me, that's one of the, or people who are speaking up, single most differentiating factor is your communication skill. Written, oral, talking, speaking, listening, all this will be part of the communication skill. So let's make this session as interactive as possible, because that's one of the key elements that I would like to leave behind for your thoughts as we move forward. Because you guys are in second year MBA students, right? In about 6 months or whatever time frame, you would be looking out for jobs. So for you to get the job, somebody has to know you, right? Uh, because I'm assuming all of you guys are very good at what you do. So when there is a written test, I'm sure everybody is going to work or do their stuff. Of the set there are 100 students who write the written test at the first level of placements. About 50 or 60 qualify. And then how it goes is like if there are 10 jobs, so people will be competing for those 10 jobs of the 100 people, right? Who are the 10 jobs who think? The final status is when you have a point of view about voting. You will have something to share, something to talk, something to let people know about your achievements or your future, how what do you think of the way you would love to carry a job. So if I have to ask a question, so give me 2 strengths and 1 weaknesses. Somebody has to say that, right? So unless you talk, I'm not going to know whether that person is capable. So with that, any thoughts as what is the first thing that stands out when you see these tech companies? These are the 20 valuable tech companies of 2020. Any quick thoughts? Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, sir.
Good, sir.
Okay, good. So you understood the question. Anybody say something? What do you think about this? What stands out in this particular chart?
The brand value
Guys from
of each and every company.
So
Sir, is it the net worth of the company in terms of dollars or something, in terms of currency?
what is that?
Is
What's
it the
that?
net worth of the company?
No, this is actually the brand value of the company. So if you're from marketing, some folks, and if you're finance, it's applicable to both of you guys, and actually HR as well, because the better the brand, the higher, if you're in HR, you'll be in the recruitment or learning development or compensation of benefits or whatever to field in. The best way is to that, or I would love to go and work. So if I have to ask somebody, which is the company you would love to work? So you will come up with a name. Why do you know that I want to work with the company? Because there is a brand that you're able to associate with, right? So I want to work with, say, Apple in this case, which is the brand is not the equals to the revenue. Yes, there is so there is always a year, there is a annual survey that goes and there is a science behind it. The finance guys will be able to know what is the way they do it, but they come up with the whole brand value of the company. So there is a difference between 2019. So let me take example of IBM. IBM's brand value in 2019 was 86 billion, and today the brand value of IBM has gone to 84. So the brand of IBM has gone down, but a lot of other companies are increased. So it is as a part of the books also. Financially, I'm not sure if they can actually qualify as a brand value, but perception wise, brand value has a significant impact on the potential jobs, right? That's one aspect. So it is not the revenues of these companies, it is the brand value. Any other comments or thoughts? What do you see? Which companies, where are these companies from, if you can see that? Predominantly.
Most of them are from US, sir.
Exactly. The like top 3 or something. And then Facebook,
Yes,
IBM
sir.
are from US, Insta is from US, Accenture, Intel, Adobe, all from US, Salesforce, Oracle, Cisco, Dell, right? That's one thing stands out, right? The most of the tech companies, if you look at it from a perspective, in the geographical, most of them are only in one company. What is the next best concentration point? Where is the next set of companies are from?
China.
China.
Exactly. China, Tencent, Huawei, Xiaomi, Baidu, all from China. And then you have 1 and 2 here from here, like Samsung from Korea. Who is there out there? Yeah, I think SAP, SAP is from Germany. That's it, right? So predominantly, it's only 2 countries dominate. And these are the 2 large economies of the world. So somebody was asking me that how things will pan out or scenario change over a period of time, right, with the post-pandemic. See, this is the way change of the world is happening. Well, with the Trump gone, with Biden coming in, the things between China and US might improve the trade relationship. As MBA students, you are expected to have a reasonable understanding of what's happening at the macroeconomic level. It's very important so that you get a perspective of what's happening. So If you are looking to, or if you're aspiring to work in a technology company, this should be in your target list. And not, in my understanding, more or less each of them has a reasonably large presence in India as well. And since you're all working in Bangalore, in all probability, a lot of recruitment happens in these companies. So the one of the things you have to be familiar yourself is what kind of skills and uh, uh, values or capabilities and expertise these companies look for in the fresher hires. Most of them have a program for fresh graduates. Like there could be a management development program, leadership development program, fresh hire program, fresh management programs. There are different words and different terminologies thing, but everybody will have it. Having said that, there is, if you see what is glaringly missing in this chart. You guys are in Bangalore, huh? You should be able to answer that question. What's missing here? What kind of companies are missing here, rather?
Indian companies.
Exactly. All the Indian companies are missing. So now, having said that, doesn't mean that they don't have a brand value. They are gaining market, their share, right? Like the likes of TCS, HCL, Wipro, Infosys are gaining grounds in the markets outside India, like US. And uh, so the way you will have to look at is, how do I make myself be part of these companies? If you're aspiring to go into the tech industry, that's the biggest assumption I'm going with. If you're not interested in tech industry, you want to go to the retail, finance services, and other sectors, that's fine. But if you're looking for it, it's great to be a part of these companies. Having said that, I'm going to counter my own argument later because I believe somebody asked about startups. It's a great time to be part of startups. Something you can create. So there are two broad philosophies that as you enter into the job market. One, that I want to go and work with a large company because I'm going to learn too much. But the disadvantages of large company is that there will be thousands and thousands of them. So your ability to stand out will be very limited unless you are visible, right? That's one angle of thing. So somebody asked me a question on the sustaining and the competition. Again, let me think it. Build your soft skills, bring your personality to the thing. Because if somebody has to do data science, project management, Excel, any of those hardcore skills, we Indians are very good at doing it. What we are not very good at doing is making ourselves marketable. What we are not very good at is making ourselves visible to the world. So that's a clear, important message that I would love to leave behind for your thoughts is, what are the 2-3 things that you are unique of and that you can bring to the table? Like I gave an example of long distance running. Somebody is really good at painting. A lot of us are into arts and creativity. Like other day, I was coaching a young girl who is with 4 or 5 years of experience. She said she's very creative and she works on a hobby kind of a thing on designing jewelry and posts on Instagram. And she said she's very creative. When I go to her LinkedIn page to check her profile, I didn't see any creative aspect. It's a very bland, very simple, run-of-the-mill profile, what experiencing. I haven't seen any of those designer aspect or any of the creative thing. What stops you guys from bringing your personality to the front? If I am creative, I don't want to tell I'm creative. I want to show I'm creative. If you're creative, right? That's how you would say. If you have to design something, you can design something. Has anybody watched this movie called Legally Blonde? Reese Witherspoon. In that, if you haven't watched, I suggest it's a very funny movie. And she goes to Harvard Law School for her boyfriend. But then she's so into fashion that she designs a resume in pink and puts a scent on it. So that it's when somebody sees the resume, it's not only visually appealing, but also it smells great. So that's what she's bringing to the personality. She stands out. She's the person. Okay, maybe she might not be present what a lawyer traditionally might look like, a very suited person, very stiff, very focused kind of a thing. She stands out. She wears pretty uh, latest in vogue clothes. But that's her personality. She's bringing it, and she in the movie she's pretty successful. What I'm trying to stress upon, guys, is that bring in your personality to the job. That's a one way to stand, sustain in the market. As you all understand, the things are pretty tough out in the macroeconomic world. If you follow economics, if you don't, I suggest you strongly follow economics, whether in HR or marketing or finance. Economics is very important for us to understand a broader perspective. What I mean to say is broader perspective is that concept of recession is pretty much out there, right? US is if US has a trouble, a lot of other economies, especially companies like this, will be in trouble because a lot of their bread and butter comes from US from a revenue point of view. Europe is in trouble, and then they will be impacted. Japan, China. So if these are the four largest regions in the world who make up to 80-85% of the revenue, or sorry, economy, and we need to understand what's happening in that world, because our lives are not just our lives, because we are interconnected these days. We are interconnected with the rest of the world. So it's called coupling effect. If you haven't studied in economics, I suggest please do read about economics, because that gives you a way what might happen in the future. So if you ask me this question, what is a scenario on post-economics in post-pandemic? Scenario will be very good, because if you see today, Pfizer and BioNTech in the UK have got their approval for the vaccine. No, it's an emergency approval, but it's on the rolls. And then you have three other guys on the pipeline to come up with their vaccine. So by end of the year, we have one more month to go before we hit the end of the year. Right? My personal belief is based on whatever little I understand of economics. Once this things of perception that okay, no, the vaccine is there, things would just shoot up back. It's the bounce back will be, I feel is bounce back would be very strong, and transformational aspects will be very strong. So be ready to ride the wave. Be ready to be part of that next wave, because in the economic cycle you will see there will. I graduated in 2000, so that was a very bad year to graduate again. So because it was a dot-com bubble bust. I don't know if you're familiar with it. 2000. There was a dot-com bubble because the 2000, 2001, there was a 9/11 happened, the Twin Towers in the US, there was that incident happened, and followed by a dot-com bubble. So a very bad year doing. Again, but the ramp up was good. Then 2008 and 9, markets fell because of the financial crisis. But again, 11 to 18 were like pretty much like that, right? In terms of growth, in terms of economy, India's economy was a pretty big story. But again, so 2000 happened for all of us, and this is something happened to everybody. Not one person has been spared in the world. So I personally feel it's a great time to be prepared. Be prepared with all your ammunitions, capabilities, expertise as you move forward and go for it. If you have a target company in mind, do see what are the skills that they look for and what is the thing. I have been coaching a lot of young chaps these days. One of the things I keep telling is, if you are, since you're MBA graduates, I don't know if you're familiar with this term called gap analysis. What I want to do when I go, so what is the job I want to do? You have 6 months or 8 months of the time frame. And where do I stand today? What is the gap I have? And how do I? So if you that self-assessment is important as you move forward. If you're able to identify the gaps, great. If you're not able to identify the gaps, reach out. Because either way, somebody has to tell you, or you have to figure out what are the gaps that you have. Whether, I'm good at skills like Excel, or my technical skills are good, my presentation skills are good, but for some reason my project management skills are not great, or my data science. So somebody was asking me, I would love to hear more on analytical skills. Analytical skills are very broad and very it's an ocean by itself, right? You're talking of multiple skills here. You're talking about data, AI skills. You're talking about artificial machine learning skills. You're talking about data science, which is some set of it. You're talking about skills these are hard skills. There are qualitative skills, soft skills like analytical skills. I think is problem solving skills. There's a problem in hand. How do I solve? So we all, end of the day, MBA graduates are problem solvers. You're expected to solve the problem. a technology related problem, a finance related problem, marketing related, the marketing guys. My product is not selling or my market share is going down. If you go and work for companies like Hindustan Lever or PNG or any of these retail or FMCG companies, biggest thing is they go always on the aspect of market share. So everybody's the market share is before that market share, you'll have the mind share. What is the advertising spend? What are the few things? So I have a problem that my particular soap is not yielding, is declining market share. What should be? It's a big problem, right? But there is so much of data and analysis and quantitative number churning into to come up that what should I do? So do see if you can do a bit of data and sorry, gap analysis as you move forward. Uh, See, technology has changed tremendously in the last 30, 40, 50 years, and it is changing even at a faster rate as we speak. And so when I got into technology, I started selling those whole networking gear, what we call as switches and routers and connectivity devices, servers. We had client-server architecture kind of a thing. But then whole evolution started happening with the, penetration of internet, cloud, mobile data. And now we are all talking about intelligent enterprise. We are all talking about machine learning. We are talking about artificial intelligence. We are talking about cryptocurrency, blockchain. We're talking about quantum computing. If you're not familiar, I would encourage you to go after that. So technology has been changing, and it's changing much faster than anything. We are also talking about the whole way of cloud adoption, right? Cloud has completely transformed the way we do business, right? If you're not familiar with the whole cloud computing, it is very simple. Initially, I used to buy hardware, software, everything as a part of, from a finance guys, you would be familiar with the whole concept of OPEX and CAPEX, operational expenses and capital expenditures. So if I buy everything together, at one shot, I have a budget. I have to buy 10 servers, 1,000 PCs, XYZ, other technologies. So this is, I have to spend $1 million upfront, pay whoever it is. But now with the cloud computing, I don't have to do that. I can pay as you go. Today I have 500 people in my organization, so I will only buy 500. I will not even buy anything. Actually, I will take it as a service. So I will take 500 licenses for 5 months with one vendor. And pay it as it's like a subscription. It's like you subscribe for your internet services, right? Today you are like all your, I'm told in cable services. So I've not been in India for like 8-9 years now, but cable services, right? You pay as you want, right? Or every channel you pay 1 rupee or 10 rupees, whatever that number is. And today you want it, tomorrow you don't want it. So that's how the whole technology consumption is also working. I don't want a particular service. I'm okay to take it. So that cloud computing has changed the whole operational model. And that is a big impact in the way consumers are buying, the decision makers are buying, the CXOs are buying. CXOs are the C-suite, that is the CFO, CEO, CIO. CFOs are becoming extremely important in technology consumption. Initially, you used to only work with the CIOs or CTOs. Now CFOs are getting into every technology decision because they feel that they are as important as a CIO. So somebody who's in finance, your end goal will end up at a CFO or maybe a CEO. But as a person from finance, yes, financial skills will be a core skills, but it has to be surrounded by technology. Why? Because you will be working on Excel. Excel is what? It's a way of doing things. Initially, you might be doing it at calculator. 100 years back, you'd be doing in punching cards. Now you're doing Excel. Tomorrow you'll use something else. So whether you like it or not, you might be using technology in some form or shape. Today we are using this form of technology for educational purposes and discussion purposes. So it's important for you to adopt and adapt with technology in some form or shape, irrespective whether in HR. HR, there is a whole world of HR analytics, whole world of recruitment through digital aspects, right? There is I was playing golf with a guy who came up with this concept of artificial intelligence recruitment. That means, so if you have a CV somewhere posted, say monster.com or on LinkedIn, and I'm a potential recruiter, based on, I don't even have to go through this whole concept of recruitment agencies or HR. I can just go search it out and pick the skills that I need. That is based on my current requirement. But as I move forward, this platform helps them to connect the candidates to the things without anybody in between. and it is intuitive or cognitive ability. That means that as the guys are building up the skills, these potential recruiters will know what's the new skills that they are building. How can they marry these things? So there's a whole new world that is changing in terms of HR analytics, HR recruitment, compensation benefits, learning. Learning has completely changed the world. You used to have classroom sessions, now you have these sessions. Tomorrow you'll be talking to completely self-paced learning. In IBM, we have all predominantly self-paced learning, and then you'll also be learning through chatbots or other forms of learning. So a lot of things are changing as we speak. So one of the question was in the corporate world, how is it? What is the scenario in corporate world? Yeah. So what's the scenario in the corporate world? This is changing. I think we can pause for questions. Now is a great time to ask questions because let's have some initial comments and thoughts from you guys. What do you think? Is this informative so far? Are we missing? Have we been able to answer some of your questions, if not all? What do you think? And this time I need 10 people to speak. Just kidding, but yeah, if more the merrier. I like to hear more thoughts from you guys. Okay, Mohammed Faisal, what do you think? Did it make sense? Is there any thoughts that you have that you would like to share? Comments? Don't be shy.
I have a question. Hello.
Go ahead, Mohammed.
Yes, sir. So, correction.
Yeah, Mohammed, go ahead. I can hear you.
People have. Yes, sir. Lots of people have lost jobs, sir. So you
What's
think
that? I
that
didn't hear you. What you?
the pressure. Hello.
I can't hear you. What you said. Lots of people is what I heard you last.
Yes, sir. I mean, lots of people have lost their jobs, sir. So you think that the fresher will also get job in these scenarios?
Good question.
Can they compete with the experienced person?
Can somebody answer that question? I would love to hear if somebody has a perspective on that. Can somebody answer Mohammed's question? This question is if you have not understood the question. If I understood what you are asking is, see, a lot of people are losing jobs today across the world. If that is the scenario, as a fresher, can I get a job and can compete with these guys? That's a question, right, Mohammed?
Yes. And Peter, sir.
Anybody has a yeah. Okay, good. Anybody wants to answer that question?
Sir, I have a way of thinking, but then I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but then I'm just sharing it.
Go ahead, Sunil.
So one thing for cutting those jobs is to just cost reduction. So if you see, the company would be paying a lot of high salary to these people. So they might terminate those employees as a cost cutting, but at the same time they can hire freshers in order to fulfill their job. It's like one senior can equal to two or three freshers. So this is my point of view, sir.
Fantastic. Absolutely. I mean, that's one way of looking at it. Definitely. There are a lot of places where they're reasonably cutting down on the middle management aspect and bringing less experienced or fresh graduates to do the same job for the same reason that you just mentioned, that because it is less expensive to hire a fresher than somebody who's with 10 years experience. Right? The expectation of a 10-year experienced person will be very high then. Very good point. Anybody else can answer or have a point of view what Mohammed did? Because that's a very important question. You guys are all, it's not in just in Mohammed's mind. I believe the 40 of you and 170 of your batchmates might have a similar question. What about me? How do I get into a job market? What's in the one scenario, one way, on one hand, you have these job losses, and secondly, I'm going to graduate in about 6 months, and what about me? Any other thoughts?
Yes. If we have the right skills required for the job, then we can, we can excel and we can get that job.
Okay, I'm going to go probe you. Was it Swati Bajrang who spoke?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Swati, what do you mean by skills?
Uh, as per the requirement of the job, that may be like regarding the specialization as per that.
Give me an example.
Like advanced Excel, Python, like that skills.
Do you think of the 100 people, how many people will have that required skills? And there are 10 jobs. Let's take a scenario on a case analysis. There are 10 jobs and 100 people applying for the job, and 90 people have a reasonably good Python and whatever skills. How many will get the job?
10 people.
Correct. What about those 80 odd people who have the skills which you just mentioned? They will not get it, right?
Yes, sir.
So how will we manage them? It's the question is not just for Swati. Huh? Please feel free to answer Swati, but if you have some other guys, please feel free to think and let me know what do you think. This is an important question, as that because that's how the scenario is. I'm still making up. There are 10% jobs available for every 100 candidates. It could be less or more, slightly more than that, but on an average. So how do you ensure that you are the 10 within the 10 people? Right, that's what the whole agenda is, right? Or the motivation is that I have the skills. There are other 990 people who have the similar skills. Only 10 jobs are there. Go ahead, Swati, you were saying something. Anybody?
After the
Go ahead, Swati.
after the pandemic, before there were recruitment was not there, but after the pandemic, I hope there will be many vacancies or many jobs will be open.
Okay.
Sir, the person who has the capacity to crack the interview will get the job, sir.
Dude, that's a very obvious thing, right? But how? Who said that?
Chetan, sir.
Yes, Chetan. So how? Yeah, of course, that's the agenda, right? If there are 100 candidates, 10 jobs, only the 10 people who crack the interview will get the job. That is so obvious. But how do you ensure that you are the 10 in one of the 10s, or anybody who's aspiring to getting a job is one of the 10? Anybody?
Some unique quality may make us stand out from the group.
Mm-hmm. Good. So, how many of you guys are familiar with the broad hiring process? Are you, in general, familiar with the broad hiring process? So, for somebody who comes in the placements directly from the company, or you are applying for a job that is not coming to your placements, are you? I'm. Look, let me go with this assumption that you have, in principle, and have a broad understanding of this. So there will be always the first set of round of technical rounds. So assuming you're looking for Python skills or data analytics skills, something like that, and number crunching skills. I'm assuming there will be. So there are 10 jobs. Let's go with the scenario. 100 people have applied. So the first round of elimination is to see how good is this person doing the technical aspect of it, whether the person is into reasonable levels of understanding. Nobody is expecting 100 out of 100. If there are 100 questions in that particular technical set test, and nobody's expecting it. There will be a qualifying thing. Okay, if somebody is getting 70, 75, 80, 90, whatever that number is. Okay, these are the bunch of guys. But they will put a threshold and then they will do a quick analysis and say, okay, these are of the 100, 60 people qualified or 40 people, whatever that number. What do you think will be the next round? And there are only 10 jobs. So they have to start doing the elimination round, right? They have to keep eliminating people till they hire the best 10 people they'd like people. You have a batch of 170, you basically will be competing with each other in some form or shape. So any thoughts how you will be working with each? So what would be the next set of rounds of interview?
Group discussion, sir.
Group discussion. What do you have to group discussion?
We have to speak about a particular topic given by the interviewer or on our aspect.
Exactly. Okay. Absolutely correct. So let's take a topic. Let me see how many of you will get the job. Let's do a quick. Let's say we are having 41 students. All of you made it to the second round. Most important is how you are going to communicate, how you are going to put yourself in. Okay, I couldn't read that next sentence. Yes, the person who just messaged is correct. How you communicate. Okay. If we have to have a quick, I have like 5 minutes of group discussion. I'll give you a topic. I want to see how many of you will get the job today. And the topic is wax today. What's a hot topic in India that's happening? Farmers protest in Delhi. Is our farmers protesting is a good thing? What is your thought? It looks like nobody's going to get the job, huh? Okay, let me take another question. I don't know when I was in Bangalore, most of the people used to complain about traffic. I don't know what's the situation. I haven't been to Bangalore for almost 10 years now. Let's say.
So,
Go ahead, Gunashila.
So the main reason behind the protest, the farmer protest in India is because they are not paid remuneration every month, like how we all are paid in the jobs. They depend on the crops, whatever the crops they grow and whatever they sell. So they're getting, whatever they are living, the survival is based on their crops. So they are not paid enough to survive as well because uh, the one who grows gets paid less when compared to the one who sells it out.
Fantastic, correct. That they're
So,
called the middlemen, right? They're the whole
yeah.
bunch of middlemen out there who kind of they take it from the farmers and try to sell it, and then they bring. Is somebody doesn't agree with Gunashila what she's saying?
Yes, sir. I feel there is no necessity to make the protest itself. I feel the what is the law passed in Rajya Sabha is correct. It is in the view to protect our farmers itself. It is not against. So when we read the whole rules and laws of that bill passed, then only we'll get to know what exactly it is. But because of some politics happening, so some people are misleading the farmers itself. Instead of going through the prawns of it, many are misleading the farmers itself and taking it to against the government.
That's good. That's your view. I'm sure somebody will or will not agree
Yeah.
with it. Let's.
So
Good, good thought.
though the laws and all are passed, but nothing has been implemented. This is the main reason why farmers are protesting against it. So whatever has been given by the government to the people, that is not reaching the farmers in a proper way. How they need, how it should be given, it has not been distributed that way. As she told that politicians are involved in this, so no one, uh, a farmer, I mean, a farmer alone can't just stand and fight for his right there. So all together, when they protest, obviously government takes strict actions against it and will try to do something against whatever they are being protesting for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Anybody agrees
And
or disagree?
there is one bill, sir, like something called Trade and Commerce Bill. It simply means like farmer can sell in a global way. So government is letting them to vacate this middleman and sell his own products in outside way. So globally he can sell well. So the thing
Good.
is we should educate the farmers itself, like how this law works to them. So by educating
Absolutely.
them, then only we can make sure that the bills are useful.
Absolutely. So thanks, guys, Pratima and
Yes,
Gunashila.
and the
By the
bill
way,
says
congratulations.
that
You both have guys got jobs.
thank you, sir.
It's you. Any thoughts that you guys have just seen? It's like a quick ad hoc check. So there are 10 jobs available, and they don't have any competition. So somebody was talking about competition, right? How do I sustain competition? The guys, you just eliminated yourselves. It's just what we call, if you have to go and apply to something which is really tough, that whole process is so tough is because of this something called self-eliminating process. 41 of you have eliminated, or rather 39 of you got eliminated yourselves by design. You just eliminated yourself. So it is not about the quality or the content. I mean, of course, Pratima seems to be more knowledgeable in this particular aspect, that because the topic seems to be something she must be following, and Gunashila is also equally into that. So they have a contrasting viewpoints. There is nothing right or wrong. So trust me, in a group discussion or any point, there is nothing wrong. Sunil, you started with a comment saying, "Sir, whether I don't know whether I'm right or wrong." There is no right or wrong. It's your point. It's your thought, your views. It's maybe my opinion it could be right or wrong. Oh, I don't think so, Sunil, you're right, or I think Sunil, you're. It's just my opinion. Uh, so so guys, the one of the things that I think when you also understand that if you're not familiar with the topic, yes, it might be an issue with you, but in all probability, they will pick up a topic. I just picked up a topic that just came out of my mind because if you look at the news, that what's occupying the news channels is this protest, or now it will be starting the whole vaccine thingy. But if you are not there in talking, or not there communicating your thoughts, or not there being visible, you have just eliminated yourself from the race and given somebody else a job on platter. Tough things are very tough to get. It's very tough, Mohammed. You asked a question. Yes, it's super tough to get a job. So that means you have to bring in your best version of you to the person who is interviewing, right? Or the person or the company that is going to interview you. You have to bring your best version. You have to be confident. You have to be absolutely fantastic in your communication skills. You have to be fantastic with your technical capabilities, whatever you are doing, whether it's HR, marketing, finance. They will be looking for people who have that personality, that's as a fresh graduates, what is it you would like to see? Ideas. Can you share some ideas? You must be like, in this corporate world, somebody asked me that what is the understanding of the corporate world, right? In the beginning, people want ideas. Yes, different organizations will be having a different perspective. Some will be not very vocal, asking, and some will be very flat organizations. When you say flat organization, you can walk up to anybody in the organization and talk about it. Some people have hierarchical organization. That means that you only can talk to your boss, the boss will talk to his boss, her boss, and so on and so forth. It depends on the organization. But these days with social media platforms, yeah, most of you guys will be on social media, whether it is Insta or LinkedIn. Hey, on a quick, approximately, I'm just going to pick 1%. Of the 170 students, how many people will be having a LinkedIn account? Let me ask somebody who's in spoken. I don't know. Where is the chat? I can't go to that place. How many people do you think will have LinkedIn accounts?
Sir, I
Nikhil,
think
Okay.
I think almost every one of us will have because we were asked to create one when we were told to prepare our resume.
Okay. Good. How many people are active on LinkedIn account, Gunashila?
I am active.
Oh,
Pratima is
yes, sir,
active.
I'm active.
I
Sunil,
can totally see that you guys are active. What, according to you, 170, how many people are active?
around 50 or something.
50 people or 50%?
50 people, I guess.
That's about like the 30%, right? Or about 170, 30, less than 30%. So yeah, see, so that's again a self-eliminating process. So somebody wants to be in a competing race because tomorrow, if I'm a hiring manager, and I would like to check out you guys on LinkedIn to see what you have done or rather not done. So if you put in a simple LinkedIn page and then talk about what you haven't done, that I am commerce graduate and I'm doing my second year of MBA. Dude, they will like India is a very populous country. You all understand. So if it's a large population, a lot of 21, 22, 23-year-olds will be a lot of them who you will be competing with. There's so many little. So I'm trying to emphasize the fact, guys, do be visible out there if you want jobs in life, or if you want promotions, or if you want to get higher pays. Because if I don't know you, I will not offer you a job. It's that simple. So if for me to know you, you need to let me know who you are. And so that's very important thing. I can't stress enough in the whole of last hour or so we've been talking, because the school or the college that you're studying will give you all the basic technical capabilities, whether you want to do R, Python, or marketing strategies, Potter, five forces of marketing, 4P model, or anything on finance, or aspects of multiple aspects of finance, or creating the NPV, what is the future value of XYZ, what is the current value, valuations, everything you'll study there. Rest of the hundreds of MBA graduates that are graduating every year, right? That's what the whole competition is all about. Like 170 of you will be studying some basis and some specialization. A lot of, like, only in Bangalore, one university, there are like so many of you guys like out there, right? In Bangalore, outside Bangalore, all of India. How will you differentiate yourself is what I'm going to stress upon, or I've been stressing upon. Technical capabilities will take you only a certain portion. That is, maybe it will take you to the next round. After that, it is who you are and what you are is what will define to get the job. So, Mohammed, I don't know if I have abundant to answer your question, but unfortunately, that's the reality. People who are also losing jobs are because of that. Nobody is losing job because they're bad at something. No, if there is a how do people lose jobs? So every company says, okay, I have to reduce my cost by 20%. I have some fixed costs and some variable costs. You all understand MBA, right? And if you're studying operation management, you will have done this. Fixed cost and variable cost. What's a variable cost? People are variable costs, right? There is a building I can't, there is 100 people in that building. Maybe I can downsize it to 80, but the building will have to be there. So that's a fixed cost. The electricity consumption might go down. That means a bit of variable cost. But the biggest variable cost if I have to take is people. Okay, I have to reduce to 20 people. There are 5 departments. Each department will get a target of 4 people to reduce. Okay, who are the 4 people I have to take it out? That's the question. It's exactly the same thing what happens. That who are the 4 people I have to recruit? Yeah, I don't know this guy. I'm not sure about him. He doesn't know. He sits in some thing. He's sitting on a buried head into his job. He does good job, but I don't know about him. If somebody says I don't know about that person, that means they have absolutely no clue who you are. You have to pick of the 10 people, which are the 4 people. I'll pick up the 4 people who contribute least, technically and otherwise. So I'm assuming all the 10 people are good. It's very rare that somebody is really, okay, there will be one person who will be exceptionally brilliant out there and one person who is absolutely not good for nothing character. But of the 8 people, they will have to still choose 3 people, right? So one person becomes obvious, okay, I don't want that person. But then there are rest of 3 people who have to choose. How will I choose? You have to be visible there. You'll have to make sure that people know your work. People are appreciative. You're there you have right amount of coaching, mentoring, sponsorships between your management. How will they do it if you perform? Performance is not just limited to your what you're expected to do, 9 to 5. We don't have 9 to 5 jobs anymore. It's like 24/7. The whole concept of work-life integration has crept into our work. So, sorry, I got digressed in there. So, any other comments or thoughts before we move forward? I have a few more chance to share. No? Okay. Right. See, one of the other things that is like we touched upon this, but if you see the whole world, if I have to put it in from a tech perspective, the tech company's point of view, is either figuring in some form or shape in one of these three broad areas, right? That they are able to bring in intelligence, they're able to digitize and electrify, or they're able to bring in merging of the worlds, right? That's a broad whole aspect. So you'll find most of the tech companies figuring out in some form or shape. So if you are looking forward to making careers in technology, you might be fitting somewhere. So your ability to understand the trends, happenings, the aspects of tech companies, uh, how is it functioning there, right? Let's take example of advanced analytics, or since we were talking about Python or R. So where does it face? It involves predominantly in your predictive analytics, descriptive analytics, prescriptive analytics aspect, right? So there are a bunch of companies like Splunk, Salesforce, Adobe, Tableau who would be pretty much into doing that. IBM has got its own product called uh, just come to I should come back to me. But yeah, every company comes up with this thing. So one is the language aspect. The second is uh, the ability to read and interpret the data which makes sense to someone. Because it's not about churning the numbers. You're good at Python. You're good at R. You're good at data analysis. You're good at analytics or performing of a particular churning out numbers. Absolutely brilliant in your Excel management skills. That's good. But until and unless you come out with so what, it's a very important phrase. Please do see how it helps it. Whenever you say something, if it is able to answer your so what we call in consulting is called so what analysis, right? This particular thing is this. So it helps you to do this again. So that's important. That interpretation of data interpretation is where the MBA graduates come into picture, because they're able to understand the business side, they should be able to understand the technical side, and that's where you merge and marry them, and then they're able to come out with a story. You've got to be good storytellers as well, right? Where you're able to talk the story to the clients. Because if you're an MBA graduate, everybody's your client, whether it could be internal client or external client. HR, if you're in HR, your bunch of clients will all be your employees in that organization, right? HR analytics. So if you see Workday, which is one of the largest HR companies and beaming, we use Workday as our HR platform in IBM. So it's so much of analytics it throws up. So if you're in HR, the whole thing, how do you communicate with these guys? What is that you want to convey? You come up with things like, how do you do the whole performance aspect, benchmarking? Those are the things that you will be getting familiarized with. If you're into marketing, your whole clients would be the audience prospects. Marketing is to set up, depending on whether you're in tech, non-tech, or any industry, is the ability to create the mind share. That's the job of marketing. And then they will work with sales to who will do the revenue generation. But sometimes marketing is also into revenue generation, but most of the times they will be into generation of mind share, because it can help in communication, branding, demand generation, so on and so forth within marketing. And if you're in finance, your clients will be predominantly either the street. When I say street, if you're a listed company, it could be Wall Street or Dalal Street or the BSE or wherever you are listed. Or it could be set of your management, because a finance organization works predominantly for the leadership, because they will churn out the numbers, they will do the forecasting, they will do the revenue analysis, and come up with what's the quarter looking like every month, every quarter, and they will have to come up with the whole revenue aspect, pipeline management, and so on and so forth. So, irrespective of your discipline or the function you work, irrespective of the technology. So it's always going to be a matrix. It cannot be serial. You will be a finance guy in a tech industry, working in a particular geography, right? Uh, it could be a multiple, it could be three-dimensional. This is a three-dimensional angle. Your discipline, which is finance, your industry, which is technology, and your geography, say, if it is, say, Middle East in my case. So it's a three ways. So it's always going to be, it will never be unidirectional. It will always be multi-directional and multifaceted. So tomorrow you could be. So if you're looking to make a career, you should have what is also an industry knowledge. Reason I'm stressing is that when you're marketing, but if you are not familiar with the tech marketing or the tech aspect of the marketing, maybe you are not a good fit. You're more focused in, I want to be into B2C marketing, so, or broadly into consumer marketing, or I would love to go into B2B marketing, some things. So that will help you to understand and go deep into that, because whenever you're having a communication aspect with it, you're having a group discussion, you should be able to bring in that flavor which the company is looking for. This is all tech companies. So tomorrow, if I say, let's take a large one like a Hindustan Lever or ICICI Bank. Right? So if you are going for an interview to ICICI Bank on one day, Hindustan Lever on the second day, and say Microsoft on the third day, you cannot be prepared to work your thought process or your way of presenting yourself in singular fashion, because one is a banking, one in the industry is financial services, second is a consumer goods and FMCG, third is a tech company. So your ability to talk the language of that particular industry is extremely important for you to stand out. Some would be the data analysis and the skills which are the fundamental things would be common, is because if you're going from a particular angle, they will do some technical screening. But when you're expected to talk, if you can bring in that industry specific view, that will help you. That will differentiate you. That will let the other person know, hey, this guy seems to be having a reasonable, while that person is a fresher, but he seems to be having a reasonably good understanding of where we come from or what do we play on. So that's why if you're interested in seriously pursuing a career in tech space, these are the bunch of companies out there, but also get 1 or 2 level down to understand what are the trends that are shaping the world today. Not whether it's cloud computing. It's a Microsoft, assuming go on. Microsoft plays in multiple, right? They also sell Xbox on one angle, and they did sell big cloud solutions that are there, right? So which division, what, and so you need to get familiarized with one is the industry, second is the company, because a same industry will have 3 different companies doing 3 different things. If I'm IBM, Oracle, and Microsoft setting next companies next to each other, we might be probably in the tech space, but we will be competing or working on a different spaces within that. So what I'd like to leave behind is that as you start moving in the direction, if you're wanting to move into the tech world, not just familiarize yourself with the companies, but the industry, but also what are the trends that are shaping the industries? What are the few things that helps you to understand deeper perspective of that particular industry? So any thoughts, questions, comments? No? Okay. I'll just spend some time on the structure. Or maybe we can take this in the next session, I think. Now, let's spend more into the whole structure angle into the next session. Question. What do you think has changed in the last 5 years? You can screen my screen, right? The top 10 skills in 2020 and 2015. Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it's audible.
Are you able to still see my screen of that thing, or are you seeing my other screen?
The presentation part is gone, sir.
Okay, go back. Okay. What has changed in last 5 years? Because somebody asked the question that what are the skills that are needed to sustain in competition? So this is one of the charts that I picked it up from World Economic Forum. The top 10 skills or top whatever, 10 skills. What has changed?
The appraisal system has changed.
What has changed? Sorry.
Appraisal system, sir.
Which point are you referring to?
Okay, I just told it in general.
No, no, I'm just referring to this chart.
Okay.
No, if you see that there is some set of skills that were in demand in 2015, a certain set of skills that have demand in 2020. What has changed? Has anything changed?
No, sir.
Maybe
Who's
the
that?
same skills, but got some improvised.
Sorry, please tell your name because I can't see who's speaking. So please tell your name and say it. What's that?
Oh, my name is Pratima, sir.
Pratima, go ahead.
It seems the same skills, but there is some improvised in the same skills.
Okay. Does somebody agree or disagree with us, Pratima?
Emotional intelligence is there in 2020.
That? Sorry, please tell your name as well. Sorry.
I'm Swati, sir.
Okay, Swati. So you said emotional intelligence got added. Okay. Anything else?
Hello, sir.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Mohammed, sir. So I
Moment,
think
go ahead.
active listening is not in 2020, sir.
Okay. Okay, I actually didn't want you to go into that deep, but broadly, if you see the skills, if somebody is asking me the skills, this is probably nothing has changed. Your skills that are important that have been in 5 years back are still holding important, especially complex problem solving, critical thinking, people management. See, how many of them are hard skills? How many of this gets taught in your school or college? And these are important skills, unfortunately. So that's why people like us who come and share our perspective would stress on these skills because somebody asked me, how is it in the world, corporate world or the market? This is how it is. This is with an assumption that you are already good at what you're doing. You're good at what your marketing is there, your HR or things. Those are all, I'm not stressing on that because that's what you're getting anyway taught in some form or shape. What is not getting taught or what you also need to work as you move into the job market is these skills. How, if you're given a problem, say tomorrow the problem, in my case, I have been getting I feel the problem is A problem or a B problem. What is the 2, 3 things I should know about that, right? Every organization is going through some problem or other. Every person is going through some problem or other, right? It's how you handle. So if the same problem is given to 3 people or 10 people, they will come up different ways, approach. Solutions might come the same, but approaches are different. Critical thinking. Somebody was asking about analytical skills, which is also part of critical thinking. I'm not stressing about the analytic skills that you will derive from Excel or a Python and R. Those not. I'm talking about thinking to how to apply. Application skills are very important, guys. Unless you're able to solve problems, unless you're able to say tomorrow negotiation skills, like you getting something. How good your negotiator are. You are a very good negotiator as kids. I don't know if you remember 10 years, you're all 21, 22 year old. 10, 15 years back when you used to hang out with your parents, you would be a very good negotiator. Your mom says, wake up at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, you will say 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something. I don't know if you still do that. My son does that to me. So that's it. So if you say, okay, can you please, ask him to go to bed at 9:30, you'll say 4 or 5 more minutes. So I ask him to come and do XYZ, he'll say, oh, I'll not come after 5 minutes. The standard negotiating is the time between us, which happens. The other negotiation is that spending time online or watching Netflix. Okay, we have so 30 minutes or playing Fortnite. If you guys play Fortnite, my son's into playing Fortnite. Oh, only 10 minutes, so 30 minutes every weekend. So I'll play. So this is a negotiation. It's a very, what do you call, inborn trait for kids. But as you grow old, you start losing on negotiation. You feel shy of negotiating. So what will the other person think? Why? It's your thought that you want to negotiate. Two people. Negotiating skills are very important. It is important when you go and do jobs, right? If you're into project, the client will say, "Hey, okay, let's do this in next 2 weeks." You know at the back of the mind that 2 weeks is really very stretched deadline. You don't have team in place, you don't have things. So that's when you will negotiate. So you will have to explain your point of view. Hey, I don't know, I don't think so. 2 weeks is good because they're crazy. Let's take it 3 weeks. But we'll be happy to work with you in 2 weeks, but let's targeting because then that whole concept of expectation management will come into picture. It's because these are the few things that people will see and then perceive. I will be perceiving, okay, this guy said 2 weeks and delivered in 3 weeks. I don't think so I can trust that person anymore next time. But if you have negotiated yourself for 3 weeks and delivered in 2 weeks, and you say that's customer delight. Like when you're in marketing or any other function, you want to have client delights, client customer testimonials, customer happiness, customer satisfaction indexes. So how creative you are in your approach. The same technical aspects of data analytics skills. But if you are super creative in terms of data visualization, right? If you're very good in Tableau and you interpret the data and present it in a way that is so easily consumable that if a 4-year-old can understand what you're trying to do, that is creativity. That is visualization. Right? It's the same thing. What I'm trying to harp upon here or trying to shed a light on this aspect is that whatever you guys are doing, bring in this angle. This is the way you will be able to differentiate in the job market. Apart from communication, these are the few things that you will have to really, really put in an effort to stand out. Because otherwise, there is no difference between you and the rest of the 1,000 guys standing in the line waiting for the job. Because then, as a person who's hiring, I don't see anything. It's all I will be the same. No change in the face of your personality. Emotional intelligence. Some two people getting lost, two people losing their jobs, will have two different reactions. One person might go into a shell, other person will see as an opportunity and then bounce back. But different reactions to the same thing, right? I don't know if you have experienced it, but it happens. Other aspect is people management. Oh, that's such a big scale. People management can also be one way I can think is leadership. That how good and how you can work with the rest of the thing. You might be going, I don't know if you have group projects. I don't know. It's not easy to work with people, right? If you're a bunch of guy people with very strong thoughts and strong opinion, all fire in one group, that will have a lot of, how do you sort those issues? And there are a bunch of 5 people who are absolutely, of the 41 people, if they have to speak up, 4 or 5 people haven't spoken, put them in a room, and they don't speak with each other, then how will they come up with the project outcome? What are the thoughts? What is the vision? What is the executional aspect? How will they do a project? How will they distribute the jobs between amongst the 5 people? So you see, people management is such an emotional thing. So what I guys want to, I know we are on top of the hour. Damodar, do you think we should continue, or we have another session that I'd like to take it up next time? But I'd like to leave it here that with some of the things, if I can leave something behind you guys, is work on skills beyond what is being taught in your college, because that's where the action is. That's where be the way you differentiate yourself. Damodar, what do you say? Should we pause now?
Yes.
Okay. Any other thoughts, comments before we is there anything that you guys would like to hear next time? Am I glaringly missing something you feel is not adding value to what your time is? Let me know.
Sir, before we end the session, I have a word of thanks to present. So let us wait for the audience to ask the question. Suppose that let me continue, sir.
Okay, let's hang it for a while then, Sunil. Let me see if somebody has any other thoughts, comments, questions. Did this make sense to you guys? Was it you were expecting something like this, or just something completely disappointed in the session? I know most of you will not speak, but any brave souls who feel that this is not that they were looking for? Is there anything else that you'd love to hear? from
So
somebody who's
there
working
was
in.
nothing so disappointing or something like that. If there was more time, we could have learned a bit more than what we've got to know right now.
Like
Uh,
anything specific, Gunashila, that you would like to learn more?
Maybe how the corporate world is gonna work in the future to us, and how are we gonna manage all those things and all that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Any other questions?
So since most of us are like freshers, like most of us haven't been to any job right now. So
Hmm.
what would you suggest for us?
Okay. Guys, first thing, if I can suggest, speak up. Very important skill. Probably you don't realize it, but it's a, one of the important skills. Probably I must have said it like umpteen times now. Speak up. That's very important. Very important. Extremely important. If I have to pick one skill that you would, if you have to work on, uh, spend some time, don't be shy. Don't be shy at all. You may be scared that what the other person is saying. And don't worry, I was in their shoes sometime. It's not something that I'm getting it by default or by it's natural. No, it's not. It is not. You might have to make an effort. So if you are not comfortable talking, start getting comfortable. Start talking to your friends to begin with. Uh, Not everybody is going to be measured at the same thing. I'm not saying that people who don't speak up will not be, but do share your thought with your people around. If you know a bunch of your colleagues, because imagine like you're a bunch of with your friends who you hang out with, go out for drinks, or you hang out with your lunches and coffee sessions. There is everybody I know speaks up, right? Everybody has a point of view. Uh, but when it comes to a professional settings, people are reticent. They hold back. They tend to feel what the other person will think if I ask or if I say something. My only suggestion at this stage: don't be shy. Don't be, because there is no right or wrong answer. It is your thought, your based on your knowledge, based on your ability to assess the information and present it in the way. So this is a great time to practice. So feel free to practice in front of me. Reach out to me if you have some questions or comments. I have put in my LinkedIn profile there. So send me a request, follow up with me, follow me. Uh, the more you are talking, the more you're communicating, the more you're sharing ideas, the more you are listening and active listening. When I say listening is passive listening. A lot of people that might be put would be there for attendance purposes and put a Netflix on or a TV on, and that's passive listening. But if somebody is actively listening and getting, feel free to be an active listener. Nutshell, if I leave one suggestion before we meet up, is communication. To work on it. It's not easy, but it's something you have to work on. Maybe from now till say 3 months or 6 months, whenever you guys will be hitting the campus space. The next session, I was hoping to share some more details on the structural aspects. What do you guys want to hear? Something on the corporate side? I see you asking me what's in the corporate world. Let me give you scenarios and see what are the different functions in the corporate world from a technology point of view, tech industry point of view. Anything else that you would like to focus? All right, so let's catch up. And so, what group is this? If you can just tell me the name of this group, because I'm presenting it to three different groups. So, which this is DSI, And what group is this?
BU, sir, Campus 1.
Campus 1. And what was that? What you?
BU, Bangalore University.
BU. Okay. Got it. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Is Damodar there? Should we leave now?
Sir, can you please share your LinkedIn link?
Just one second.
Sir, before we end the session,
All right, my system has to hang now.
I'm sorry, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, sir. I take a privilege to express our sincere thanks to you, sir, for giving a brief and excellent talk. Rather, I would say excellent coverage on business functions and trends. We really appreciate you, sir, from MBA BU Department of Management Studies for educating us with business trends and technology. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks very much, Sunil. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And it would be really unfair if I don't thank the audience right now. Thank you, audience, for being so interactive throughout the session. And I would like to thank Dr. Dharmendra Rao, sir, for giving me the opportunity to present a word of thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks. So before we end, here is a link in my profile so that we know if you need any inputs.
So before we end, I would like to put down the feedback link in the chat. Participants, I request you to please fill out this feedback form. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys. See you later then. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.